Welcome back. Today I just have a quick little review of a couple of hand saws. I'm not talking about woodworking saws, but about pruning saws, I guess is what you would call them. Over the past year or more, I have found myself having to climb trees in order to prune little limbs, and I have some of those long pruning shears with the two crisscrossing blades at the top and long handles that do pretty well on branches up to a certain size. And I try not to tackle any limbs that are, extremely large. I need to get professional help with that. But for all your medium-sized limbs, from say about 3/4 of an inch in diameter up to about 2 inches, I only had two choices before. One was a little folding saw I had picked up, 20 or more years ago at a discount place. And it did okay on small things, but it wasn't incredibly sharp and it was a little flimsy. And I have a Fat Max Stanley big old, firewood cutting saw. I don't know what else it's for, maybe to rough cut lumber. But recently I picked up these two folding saws. One is a Fujiwara, which is actually more orange and black, but it looks red here in the camera view. And the other one is actually red and black, and it's a Corona. They're very similar in size. I think the Fujiwara is maybe an inch longer, and they both have a little switch that you can press and fold the blade out, like so. And then it locks into place. And you cut through your limb, and then you press the lever and close it, put it in your back pocket, or wherever you can safely hold it while you're climbing around in a tree. These two are comparable in price to each other, which is why I had a hard time deciding between them when I bought them, and I just bought both. Both of them feel more solid than the El Cheapo one that I got before, and they're both easier to climb around in a tree with than that big Fat Max Stanley saw. But anyway, I decided to put them to the test. I had a limb that I had cut out of my tree, and here's a video of me sawing through it. First, I measured the limb with my calipers there. It's about 1 3/4 inches across, so almost 2 inches. And just as the control, I started with the Fat Max Stanley saw that you see here. Part of the problem with sawing it the way I'm holding it here on a table is that the limb kept moving, which it wouldn't do if it was in a tree, or at least not much, because it's still attached to the tree. So in that sense, it's not an exact fair comparison. But I counted 51 strokes for this Fat Max Stanley saw to get through the limb. And then I tried the old flimsy one that I had before, which, like I said, I've had more than 20 years. Its brand, it says Garden Pals. I don't know where that's from. And it had been used a lot over the last 20 years. And I think there may have been some, dried wood sap or something between the blades, but it was never really effective to begin with. Not only did I have a hard time getting it going, but after 30-something strokes, it just ran out of steam, and I wasn't getting anywhere through this limb. So I have no idea how many strokes it would take. It also kept jumping out of the groove, and it was just really hard work to get it to do anything. I had used it up in trees before, and the reason that I went looking for a new saw is because this one was tough to use. Well, then I tried the Corona, one of the two new ones that I have, and this was the first thing that I ever cut with it. And it got started pretty easily, as you see here, and it just took 36 strokes, back strokes, to go all the way through. I wasn't counting the forward strokes, which I think aren't cutting like the back strokes. It made pretty quick work of it. It was comfortable to hold. And then I switched to the Fujiwara, which, like I said, the blade is just a little longer, maybe an inch longer. And it was the clear winner in this little contest, taking only 28 backstrokes to get all the way through this little limb. There's the little cutoffs that I had from all the work that I did, and the groove from the old saw that didn't go all the way through. So anyway, if this is something that you were looking to get, I recommend both of these. They both worked pretty well. The Fujiwara worked slightly better, but it is slightly bigger. So if you're looking to hold these in a pants pocket, like your back pocket, or a side pocket on cargo pants, the Corona is a little less long. As far as width, I think the Fujiwara is slightly narrower, so it wouldn't be as bulky. Once again, thank you for spending your time here. Hopefully that information came in useful to you. I'll put links in the description where you can buy these. These are not sponsored links. I don't get any kickback from them. It's just where I bought them. And I'll see you next time.